All right, welcome everybody to our meteorology segment here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. We cover meteorology on the regs. We're going to start out things a little bit differently today, looking at the situation around Australia. So there's a tropical system here. It's going to be producing some, shall we say, large waves, like Point Break size waves. And what this graphic is sea surface temperature anomaly. And you can see right here, unlike what we saw at, quote, Hurricane and, quote, Henry making landfall in the U.S., we saw cold water associated with that landfall south of Rhode Island. Here, we see anomalously warm water. Sea surface temperature anomaly there. And that is warm water. And that's the kind of thing that strengthens a tropical system. That said, let's take a look at the surface winds. And you can see these powerful surface winds here. We'll actually zoom in and see if we can get a high reading. Yowzers. So nearly hurricane force winds there showing up at 67 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised if there were indeed hurricane force winds. And you can see that powerful southern hemisphere clockwise rotation associated with tropical cyclones. When we look at the jet stream level, there actually is a kink in the jet stream here. It is rotating the same way as the system. Not an indication that it will probably strengthen, but I'm not exactly adept yet at forecasting weather for the southern hemisphere. So just bear with me a minute while I move back out and show the regular stuff that we're showing. Oh, I wanted to show one other thing also. Waves. Because there are some big ones. So we've already got some big waves here. 7-meter waves, otherwise known as 23-foot waves here. That is that's your global surf spot, folks. Cheers. Yowzers. That is some serious waves. Anyway, we'll zoom out here and show the surface winds of the eastern world. And here are the jet streams. We've got backward jet streams once again over the western Pacific and northern Indian Ocean here. The Bay of Bengal. A little bit of backward jet stream. We've got this extreme bend here where it's just going in reverse. Yowzers. Here's the western side of planet Earth. I thought it was. There it is. It's Western Earth. And check this out. We've got this extreme jet stream eddy here. It's like its own jet stream. And that's rotating counterclockwise there at the jet stream scale. Pretty significant. And look at these extreme bends over the North Atlantic as well. Making for some very cold times in places like the Azores and some very warm times in, east central Greenland. Prompting people to believe all kinds of nonsense about how Greenland is going to melt or something. And also a strong low there, just south of the tip of Greenland. Those are the surface winds for the western side of the planet. We'll get more in depth here, but I just wanted to bring up the forecast here. This is the GFS forecast for combined waves and swells. And you can see 23-foot waves there showing 27-foot waves here forecasted, actually. And so that's going to hang out there for a while. It looks like that's not going to dissipate until Wednesday around 6 o'clock Universal Time. A little bit of an Australian wave forecast there as we start to branch out into more in-depth meteorology forecasts. Forecasts and all kinds of information like physics and so on. Here at the Smash News Network, we prefer to provide objective, non-alarmist, science-based information, not nonsense. Speaking of not nonsense, look at all the lightning. Crazy time for lightning right now. We see lightning stretching all the way from northern South America all the way into Mexico. Some strong lightning here moving toward the Bahamas. Also, some very strong storms here just moving into Minnesota. We've got to keep the coverage moving here because we don't want the video to be too long or too late to get uploaded to YouTube. It was originally streamed live to twitch.tv/SmashaMash. If you wanted to see it originally when it was streamed live, well, that would be the way to do it. Anyway, heavy storms here around Minneapolis, and the one that's just south of St. Cloud is probably going to smash right into Minneapolis. It's going to smash. It's going to mash. Check out the thunderstorm. If you're in Minneapolis right now, go and look to the west-northwest, because that is one heck of a insane thunderstorm going on out there. Yowzers. Look at all the lightning strikes. That is berserk. And when you hear berserk lightning via thunder, head to lightningmaps.org, because it is just spectacular. And if you can convince the natives that you're causing thunder to happen, perhaps you could, I don't know, take over their village or something, right? So here's where pressure cells are located, and we're going to advance this into the European forecast. Eyes on that low pressure there east of Australia. And the European forecast has this moving to the east, not to the north. So there you got two separate forecasts there. GFS showing it move north. European forecast showing it move east. It's pretty anomalous. It's pretty weird, really. And so that's where we expect pressure to be according to the European forecast at 1300 Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow, which coincides with with 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean, 5 p.m. Universal Time. That's what I'm looking for, Universal Time. Lots of low pressure here around the planet too, by the way. There's a sort of a surplus of low pressure and sort of a shortage of high pressure systems. There is a strong high pressure anticyclone here off the coast of western South America. Again, this was originally streamed live to Twitch. We've got some streams recently on here that are like 13 hours in length. This one's 17 hours in length because we were waiting for the coronal mass ejection that we forecasted to occur, so we figured we might as well stream it live. We also are on BitChute, thanks to our subscribers over there. And if you're viewing the videos only on BitChute, make sure you subscribe over on YouTube. You're missing like 80% of the content. YouTube.com/SmashaMash. And let me check the life of the stream once more. Everything looks just fine. Let's get back to it before we're old and gray. Not that there's anything wrong with being old and gray. So please support the channel. Visit smashamash.com. Smashamash.org will redirect you. Maybe join the Smash team. It's not Patreon. Anyway, here's a close-up of these insane storms. And that second line is going to smash right into Minneapolis. Keep in mind, these systems are the kind that can produce strong winds, possibly tornadoes, damaging hail, etc. Also heavy downpours. And keep in mind, folks, most tornadoes form in the northwest corner of these storms in the northern hemisphere. So just be aware of that. So there's your Doppler radar. And we've got close-ups of this. So here's what's going on in the cloud layer. And here's what's going on in the water vapor. And these storms are going to move in a fairly consistent pathway here. There's not a lot of inputs to change their trajectory. So the Doppler is going to be fairly obvious in terms of showing you the way these systems are going to move. And we'll zoom out to show the full country view here of the lower 48. Just bear with me while I set those up for you so we can close out the meteorology segment. So there's the full view of the lower 48. That's the cloud layer, 3.9 nanometer animation. There's a US Doppler radar. And there's the water vapor map. So don't forget to tell your friends and foes, science noobs and science pros about the channel. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-O-Mash, signing off from the Smash News Network. Least busted, name it news.